Now that you've seen all the parts of a function, let's put those pieces together. We'll write a few function definitions together and then call those functions. We'll start with a description of the task the function should accomplish and go from there. Here's one you may have seen before. Write a function that takes in a string and returns the first character of that string. Again, we start with the func, and then we need a name. I'm going to call this one firstCharacterOf. I'll add my parentheses and my curly braces. In general, don't shy away from long names. Especially in the age of code completion, it's more important to be descriptive than it is to save yourself a few milliseconds of typing. It also would have been fine to call this function firstCharacter, but I want to emphasize that the naming convention in Objective-C and Swift is to use prepositions in function names to refer to the first parameter, in this case, a string. Here, this function is returning the first character of the string being passed in. So we have our name. Next comes the parameter between parentheses. Let's call the string we're going to pass in word. That'll be its local parameter name, and then we specify its type, string. And next comes an arrow and the return type. Our return type in this case is going to be character. And I'm just going to write return X here so that we can quiet that error for the time being. And finally, we get to the meat of the function. In between curly braces here, we'll put the statements we want to execute. There are a number of ways to get the first character of a string in Swift. I'm going to use subscript syntax with the index start index. And of course, once we get that value, we want to return it. Okay, now it's time to call it. FirstCharacterOf is a global function, so in order to call it, we just write its name and then pass in a parameter between parentheses. And over here in the sidebar, we can see that the first character of mom is being returned. Now, notice that we didn't give our parameter an external name. We only gave it the local name, word. Thus, when we called it, we just passed in the parameter itself. Let's go ahead and add an external name to our parameter. It's kind of hard to come up with another word for word, so I'm just going to use word again. And now that we've specified an external parameter name, we need to use that external parameter name in the function call. Now you've probably noticed that the compiler is complaining about something. Let's see what it has to say. Word can be expressed more succinctly as #word. It wants us to use the shortcut for external parameter names that are the same as local parameter names. If we just place a hash mark in front of the local parameter name, we let the compiler know that the external and the local parameter names are the same.